Hi, it's Oscar from Emotion Systems. I thought I'd just make a quick video walking you through how we can make some of these AD profiles, these AD workflows, something like you're seeing in front of the screen now. We have 4 different options inside the module, so I thought it would just be easy to go through them inside the workflow builder. So inside Engine, it's a UI-based system application. So we can see very easily what we're going to do. With this example here, we're getting the original stereo, a description track, and using the gaps in the silence in between the narrations in the description track, we can create this control track. So and then on output, we get the descripted, we get the separate mono commentary, and we get a control track in channel 4. So, that's just one permutation of what we can do. So let's go ahead and make some more workflows. So if I go to the settings area here, I'll just click new. I'm going to call this example AD workflows. And then we'll get to our setup tab. So I'll just make this slightly bigger for us. I'm just going to choose this to be a WAV, but of course we could do AD inside of an MXF or a MOV file as well. But I'm just going to use WAV for this demo, and I'm going to select it to have 4 channels, which is the maximum upon input for an AD module. So we'll click Add. We'll go to the next because we can see we've generated 4 channels. And I'm just going to select Audio Descriptor from my signal processing drop-down menu. When I click Add Step, we'll start seeing an example of some of the stuff we can do. So, this is mode 1 out of the 4. We'll go through them individually. So with mode 1, we have an original program mix coming in channels 1 and 2. So this could be a documentary, let's say, without the AD on it. We have the separate mono commentary, which has been generated by a voice actor, by your voice talent. And we have that as a mono strand or mono stream. That's coming in channel 3. And then this is presuming we have the control track sort of as a sidecar to the narration track, where we can also use that as well. And what we would do in this version is we'd sum that all together and we create a version of that documentary which has the AD sort of hard baked into it. Of course, I can move this down out of the way. Let's say I wanted that original stereo to come across, and I wanted the mixed version to be on channel 3 and 4. Well, I can just move these channels out of the way. So that would be what version 1 of the AD modes does. If I go to version 2, we can basically, we're doing the exact same upon output. We're creating that descriptor stereo, but we haven't been given the control track this time. And like I mentioned earlier, what we would be doing is we'd be analyzing this description track and creating the control track. Instead of giving you that as an output, though, we would just sort of use that to create this hard-baked version again. So that's mode 2. If I go to mode 3, this is simply just the control track. I've just moved this to channel 2. So upon output, we'd have the mono commentary still being in channel 1, but we could generate that control track in channel 2. And you can send this, further along down the chain or to whoever needs it next. But yeah, we're not using the program audio at all for this version. It's just simply taking the narration track and creating the control track. And version 4 is sort of the more widely used one, I imagine, because if we just move that control track to channel 4, well, what we have on output is we have the original stereo coming in. Actually, sorry, I'll start with the inputs. We'll have the original stereo coming in. We'll have the description track in channel 3. Then we'll make that mixed version, that hard-baked mixed version. And we'd pass through the description track in channel 3, and we'd have a control track being generated in channels 4. So, each of these modes sort of covers all the bases, really. And of course, if I had more channels, I'd have more flexibility to move, my descriptive track all the way down to channels 5 and 6, and therefore you'd still have the original stereo passing through 1 and 2. Then you'd have the description control in 3 and 4. Then you'd have the combined mix, the descripted version of that content in channels 5 and 6. So something else we can do in here, we can also customize some of the fade ramps. We've come across people, custom in Spain, who needed an inverted version of the control track for the Spanish market, so we've added those controls in here. What we can do is we can sort of control the noise floor here. We could also control the fades, and you can see each ramp getting sort of increasing there every 100 milliseconds. And we can add sort of a soft fade to each of those individual 100 millisecond gaps here. So you can see we're creating more of a linear ramp for that sort of ducking. And then you have your minimum silence length as well. So very customizable tool. Yeah, 4 different modes. And I hope that helps explain things. Cheers.